For my brother Solomon Hill, baby. He was just out there playing defense. It ain't his fault LeBron can't move his feet. Hi, I'm Carcina. Oh, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
No one knows Carcino and none of these.
There's so much going on in the world, and I'm just giving my 2 cents on it. Go in and do a raid at someone's house, but you don't have an arrest warrant for them. Ooh. Right back at you. Cha. Now, the D Ham situation. I was waiting for the opportunity to speak on this because I didn't understand what the process was, what the situation was, and wanted D Ham to make his exit speech or statement before, I go into exposing everything that went down here, Society plays an evil trick on people, but we all knew this was inevitable, though I was hoping the Lakers understood what they were dealing with because D Ham is one of their guys. He's part of the Laker family. He was an assistant back in 2012, and this was his home. He has a lot of friends in the coaching industry, and many people know that Darvin Ham can coach basketball. So for these LeBron James fans who pose as Laker fans, D Ham can coach. All right? You guys are completely delusional. To try to defend LeBron James, you do your best to rip up and destroy what actually is. And you look at what Darvin Ham has done in 2 years, and you tell me that's warranted of being fired. In his first season as a coach, they go to the Western Conference Finals, something LeBron James has not accomplished in a full season as a Los Angeles Laker, ever in his career, in a full season with the Lakers. The bubble championship they won in 2020, which was 4 years ago, when the pandemic hit and all of that, that was a tournament put together. That doesn't even register. You fire Vogel and replace him with Darvin Ham. Because you needed a scapegoat. Well, scapegoat now is what they call it. But yeah, you needed your scapegoat to get out of the situation of who's really to blame here for everything that's going on and has been going on for a very long period of time. So the coach killer himself, LeBron James, and hit the like button, gets away with another one. As a Laker fan, I'm disgusted. Don't be disgusted. You should expect it. Because it's saying LeBron's not going to come back and play if Darvin Ham is still the coach. That was the situation. Now, here's the narrative that went down, and people really didn't know anything about it. Hold on, let me grab my... I don't know what I did with all this stuff, man. But this narrative has been going on for a long period of time, and it just hasn't changed. And if you go on Amazon, we're going to be giving some of these out to my Patreons. My cousin, he wrote his book. It's a Christian book for children called Help You, Help Me. He did the illustration. So if you're on Amazon, you want to have some children books for kids that's educational without a whole lot of demonic stuff that actually educate children. It's a very good book. So it's a great book for children. So definitely get that for them. He's got the religion nuts on that back of it. Now we will be giving out some to the Patreons, some of my Patreons for free. So now let me get back to this because I wanted you guys to understand some things. It's a lot of stuff that went down that was not explained. That Darvin Ham grew up with my cousins, like I told you, in Michigan. They're all from Saginaw. And they did things that people didn't really understand. And about a few months ago, the pandemic hit. I mean, not the new pandemic hit. The Los Angeles Lakers actually made, they've actually made a deep stance to try to change the narratives of what is actually going on and what's actually real. And being that D Ham is part of the Saginaw STEM, he's rolling with us. You know, he's been family and been close to our family for a while. And well, my cousins, them, Dante, Nikki, and Antoine. You know, he knows my auntie, they mother, they know his family. He's played ball with us on the court. When I first played for ever, you know, they were the gods of the court. You know, so D Ham was jumping out the gym. So it was crazy times back then, you know. But these were the guys that was running the playground courts over there in Michigan. Before they went to the NBA, D Ham went to the NBA, did what he did. He was just that talented. Now, look at what he had his first year. He goes to the Western Conference Finals, right? The Western Conference Finals. And they go into this new season with a weaker roster. Okay? Let that sink in. You were larger than you were last year. This year, you go in with no point guard whatsoever. You go in with Gabe Vincent and replaced him with Dennis Schroeder. Dennis Schroeder is one of the reasons you guys went to that situation, to the Western Conference Finals. At the point guard position, he's large. He's a better passer of the basketball than they give him credit for. And he's a shooter. He could score. So Dennis Schroeder showed them what they could do, especially in the World Basketball League when they won the cup and hoisted the trophy high as he was MVP of world basketball, meaning no magnet basketball was going to limit his abilities. He showcased who he was and actually was the best option for him. Now, Gabe Vincent, he's saying D'Lo is the point guard. This guy's asleep. D'Lo was moved to point guard. Dennis Schroeder was never a two guard. He was the point. Now, D'Lo had to play point once Gabe Vincent, who was supposed to be the point, wasn't panning out. And then he got hurt. D'Lo had moved to the two. So D'Lo moves to the one. Now he's the point. Gabe Vincent is injured all season. Supposedly, he's injured. They were trying to move him, but couldn't. So another decision made by LeBron and the Lakers of getting Gabe Vincent backfired in their face, and it wasn't working out. Now you have your core team is out, right? This is a 500 ball club at best. But if you look at the Lakers, half their team is out. You got Gabe Vincent out. Cam Reddish out. Right? Did Vanderbilt even play this season? He was out. He missed about 60, 70 games. He came in the season hurt with some ankle injury. So they never touched the court, really. I don't know if Jalen Hood Scafano is even on the damn team no more. Is Scafano still a Laker? I don't know. I haven't seen him. So you already going in there with players that are on the roster that you don't even know where the hell they are, what they doing, who and what is going on. Now, let's go into the problems from last year. Christian Wood is injured. He just won full custody of his child from his crazy baby mama. So congratulations on him for that. He don't have to pay that crazy woman child support. And that's what most players need to start doing. Getting full custody of their kids from these crazy baby moms who trying to use their kids as meal tickets. Listen, as I tried to tell the world countless times and over again about society and how it works and how this game moves. Like it flows like a water pattern going back and forth. Right? But you got to understand how the flow is or you'll get lost in the sauce. Now, the Los Angeles Lakers, going back to the success, right? The in-season tournament. The Lakers turn it around. They win it. They were just celebrating an in-season tournament championship. They just putting the banner up. They're pulling the banner. Oh, we just won in-season tournament. Right? So you go that way and you go that route. You see the in-season tournament don't turn out the way you want. Now all of a sudden, here comes problems. In other words, here comes LeBron. Because now after the championship, they won the in-season tournament, whatever, they put the banner up, they get back to the regular season. The Lakers lose 4 games in a row. And after they lost to Minnesota and lost their 4th game in a row, here's where the problems start coming in for the Lakers. Right when they lost that 4th game in a row, they lost 4 of the first 5 games. Now, all of a sudden, Darvin Ham is the problem. How would the man that just led you to an in-season championship now is the problem? When they had a big fallout in Minnesota after they lost to Minnesota, they were talking about changes to the lineup and all of this. So LeBron is yelling in the back, and he's pissed about they just lost 4 in a row, and he's not happy about the slide, so he's trying to shake things up. So D Ham is there, and he was like, man, you supposed to be telling them this and this and that, man. I feel like it's all on me, and that's all on me. And he said, well, you the GOAT, you the leader. It's up to you. So that led to a argument between LeBron and D Ham in Minnesota. And they quieted down because D Ham was ready to snap and grab LeBron by his neck and actually sit him down to let him know, I'm not that guy that you're going to be able to jump in his face. So the assistant coaches, Phil Handy, actually grabbed LeBron. It's like, look, I know how to talk to Bron and calm him down. Bron apologized, and LeBron apologized. He talked to D Ham crazy a little bit just because he was frustrated, and he apologized to D Ham. The next day, they sat down, they talked, and they went over things that they wanted to try on the offense. And he was like, if you got something you want to try or you want to run by me, run by it. What won't you do? We do if you say, hey, I got some input. Y'all got input, let's do it. And that's what D Ham says. All the players be in the room, they do their film study or whatever day. He says, okay, here are the plays we're running. This is the film study on these guys. Input. Anybody got input? Most of these guys come in there with their earbuds on, got their music playing in their headphones, looking at the coach and players. And they were tuned out. LeBron was all tuned in until he decided to tune out because he was frustrated with the team after the All-Star break. After the All-Star break, the organization couldn't get who they wanted. He was mad at Rob Pelinka. No, I don't have any NHL stories. Sorry. Yes, this make the in-season tournament look like trash. How does a coach win an in-season tournament and y'all try to make it the end-all, be-all? You paid more for winning that. Denver is going to get less money, or whoever wins the championship, they're going to get less money than what the Lakers got paid to play and to win the in-season tournament. Make that make sense. That your NBA finals are going to get paid less money than what the in-season tournament winners got paid. So LeBron and his team is going to get paid more. It doesn't make any sense. So now you look at the next level of it. Let's get to the next event. The Nexus event. After the Minnesota loss, and they lost that 4 in a row. And they were like 1-5 in their last few games. The talk with Rob Pelinka and Darvin Ham, they had a meeting to see where they were as a team, what's going on, So as they're having this meeting, he's saying, well, you have an aging veteran who's viewed as one of the best players in basketball. And, it gets frustrating when they can't get what they want. And Rod said, I know. He's like, I had Kobe Bryant for the majority of all the way to the end of his career. I had Kobe Bryant, and he was feeling that way because he had a lot of young players who didn't take the game like he took the game. And he said, I'm thinking that's happening with LeBron. He's not able to function with some of these players who don't take the game as seriously as he takes the game. So Darvin Ham says, I understand that because I've been that veteran player in the league, just playing in the league and to the point where it's time to go and getting to a point where you got to shut it down. But he said, when I came here, this is what I wanted to run. I wanted to have speed. I knew where the Lakers lacked. And from what I told you, when the introductory meeting, I told you what I can get into this. Our game managing, we have to get faster on the ball. And we have to have more guys touching the ball. And we need less minutes for LeBron. We need guys contributing so LeBron could be on the floor less. But I can't make him sit down. He's not listening to me on the court. He's inserting himself in games. So how am I supposed to coach that when I'm not being allowed to coach? So the point I'm getting to y'all is, how is D Ham at fault? I want Laker fans to get in here. Where you at, Laker fans? Now, this is bad when it's a black coach, because black coaches seem to have a very short leash in the NBA. The margin of error is very small for a black coach. You saw Steven Silas get fired, and it's at an alarming rate. Black coaches are fired in the NBA. Black coaches getting fired in the NBA. You saw Adrian Griffin get fired by the Bucks. The Bucks was 30-13, right? And they said, Adrian Griffin, you a problem. We need Doc Rivers. He got to go. We've seen Mark Jackson basically get blacklisted out of coaching. Right? And why don't we have more black players stick up for their coaches? None of the players speak up for them and really go to bat. The person that spoke up for their coach You're right. There's a difference between Laker fans and LeBron fans. Mark Jackson has a great basketball mind, which is clear. You say Mark Jackson got a great mind. That's cool. It's a lot of players. Coaches. Like Scotty Brooks wasn't a bad coach when he was at OKC. But when it's black coaches, there seems to be a much sharper hook. And I was saying it 5 years ago. Black coaches are swiftly fired and nobody cares that they're gone. But a white coach can walk on the court and get hired in no time. Why is that? All of a sudden, J.J. Redick can walk in and be hired right off the books, right? How many white coaches fail, but keep remaining the job? Luke Walton kept failing, but they kept keeping him employed. Nate McMillan couldn't wait to get rid of him. CJ McMillan, right? And he said, why black coaches don't get hired? And he was talking about it and said, we need to find out why black coaches don't get hired. You remember that statement was brought to the table and they asked CJ McCollum that question?
Associate head coach in waiting. And typically, when you fire someone, the associate head coach assumes the head coaching position, and then eventually you open up the role, you open up the search, right? The fact that they fired a guy mid-season, 10 to 14 days before All-Star break, was an interesting decision. But once again, the ownership group, the team, the organization has a right to do whatever they want. I have no problem with that. I have a problem with how they disrespected the person in position to potentially take over in the interim. You don't have to hire him full time, but to not let him coach one game, to fly another coach in same day, right? Yeah, this is the finesse. The finesse was written on the wall because they played in Tampa against the Raptors in a away home game. So they played away. So they probably interviewed Buddy behind the scenes there. Then they traveled back to Minnesota and played with the Raptors again. And then the next day, they fired the coach and hired Buddy from the Raptors. And I think people got confused with our anger. My anger isn't at the guy that got hired. Congratulations, kudos to you. Like, whatever, it is what it is. I just feel like the disrespect that's pointed towards the blacks specifically, right, is outrageous. Would they have done that to a white man? Who knows, right? Like, I don't know. Maybe they would have, maybe they wouldn't. I haven't seen it. I just have a problem with the process of not allowing the guy who's been working his tail off, who's shown that he's capable of doing things, not get a chance to coach a couple games. Like, I'm gonna hire my boy too. Like, I'm gonna keep it 100. Like, I get in the position to be a GM, I'm hiring who I want to hire. But if there's a person in waiting who has a chance to kind of show what they have to offer to the rest of the world, I'm gonna give them a chance. A couple games, out of respect. Maybe you let him coach to the All-Star break and you just let him know, like, hey, I got a guy in a position that I'm going to hire, but out of respect for you, I'm going to let you coach to the break. Then this guy's coming in and take over. But they didn't do that. They didn't communicate to their franchise. Karl-Anthony Towns had no idea what was happening. I think it's just malpractice how they handle the situation. It's disrespectful to the organization. It's disrespectful to the man in waiting who's worked his tail off, and it's deserving of it. And then the manipulation that probably went on to where you got a guy who's very, very good at player development. I've been with him for a long time. Dane's been with him for a long time. Knows his X's and O's, understands how to get the best out of players, but probably wasn't trying to step on the head coach's toes and kind of play the role, thinking that, like, all right, I just play my role. I don't want to get in anybody's way, only to get passed up anyway. It's just a disrespectful situation in which it makes me dislike, some of the processes that go behind basketball, because when it comes to blacks and African Americans, we don't get the benefit of the doubt ever. You know what?
And you see that? And that's the president of the Basketball Players Union making that statement. We, as blacks, we don't get the benefit of the doubt. And this is what happened when you have no position of power. I'm serious. You have no position of power. These are the type of things that happen consistently. Not for a small period of time. It's very consistent. When you see the disrespect, you start seeing the behaviors, you start seeing everything that's going on with you, and you start seeing a lot of different things that transpire. Yes, the business is the business. There's a lot of people that's going to do that. They're going to move in a certain way that's not beneficial to a lot of the media ongoers and things of that nature. But when Darvin Ham got there, his plans was to speed the Lakers up. And as you saw, when he got there, he sped the Lakers up. All right. All right. So this firing shouldn't have even happened unless you're going to hire Phil Handy as the head coach. If you put J.J. Redick as head coach of the Los Angeles Lakers because he did a podcast with LeBron James, him writing X's and O's on a goddamn board, everybody in the NBA knows every play that J.J. Redick is talking about. Every single player in the NBA damn near can write the X's and O's on that pad and is probably a lot smarter than J.J. Redick. J.J. Redick is not the smartest tool in the shed. Okay, they want to give you this. J.J. is great. Yeah, he knows plays. He knows situations. He knows, okay, they should have went here. You should have went there. Every coach damn near knows X and O's. You know, they fired Jack Vaughn because they only brought Jack Vaughn there. The Nets fired him a couple months ago. As soon as the season ended, they wanted to move away from Jack Vaughn, but they had to bring Jack Vaughn on and make him the head coach after they had put Nash in there. Just brought Nash in and made him head coach. And people's like, that's dirty. Jack Vaughn should have had that job. So now they got to get rid of the guy they didn't want in the first place. So what was the problem? They never had a full team. They won more games this year than they did last season. They won 47 games. So they won more games than they won last year. They won an in-season tournament. They went to the Western Conference Finals last year. They get to the team in the roster is weaker than what they had last year. They go into the playoffs this year. Half of the, like 4 guys is injured. You go to the first round, you win one game against a team you couldn't beat at all last year. You got one win, and you go out in 5 games in the first round. You end up getting selected to play them. So you're out in 5 games, and everybody says it's your fault. So for you LeBron fans out there, please tell me, what was his fault? I would love to hear it in the chat. This guy said, I believe that most black players neither grew up in a home with a father in the home, so it makes it not equipped to view the black coach as a leader because they never got it in the home. That's just a stereotypical way of looking at it, to try to say black people just don't have fathers at home. And what does that have to do with you coaching and knowing how to coach a basketball game? There's plenty of people who grew up with no fathers at home, but they had their uncle there. They had father figures around them. So it's plenty of that had that. There's plenty of them that had fathers around them. Most coaches in the NBA who are black had black mothers and fathers around them. Most of the coaches who are black in the NBA mostly came from basketball royalty, and they had black fathers, and most of them were rich. They didn't come in poor off the streets. They went to big universities to play ball or even coach ball. They went to major universities. They didn't just come off the street like, thanks, man. Can I coach? Man, I swear I got this. Yo, man, come on. Yo, they gonna listen to me. I got a loud voice. Hey, cut that out. They be, oh, man, he talk like a coach. You acting like they just came in the game. So all white coaches grew up with their mothers and fathers in a happy home. Yeah, okay. And those that did, that don't mean you can coach the game and you're a very good, effective coach. It also depends on your team. Some times you don't. You're not the right coach for that team. And the style of play that the Lakers play, they have to have the right coach to do that. You can't be a coach coming in with all these ideas and it's not going to work because you got a dinosaur that's not going to confirm. I mean, he's not going to be able to do the things that you need to happen for the team to be successful. The Lakers won 60% of their games when LeBron James sat his ass down. They won 55% when he was in the game. So you can see they won more when he sat down. The team played a lot better. The ball was flowing. Guys was moving. The pace was faster. He's 39, so that's natural, right? So why do the fans blame Darvin Ham when the problem isn't Darvin Ham? It's your leader. The problem is your dinosaur-ass leader. He's old. I don't care how many points he scores. He slows the game down to a crawl. AD can't get the ball. And he's sitting there wondering why he can't get the ball. AD best productive years being with the Lakers have been these last playing under Darvin Ham. Before that, AD was shooting three-pointers and fadeaway jump shots. His rebounding has went up. His points have gone up. He has been more aggressive than you've ever seen Anthony Davis play. Now, that's where he wanted AD. AD rarely shot any threes in these 2 seasons being with Darvin Ham. He eliminated AD shooting all those threes and said, what the hell are you doing out there? You too big for that. I need you down in the box. I don't need you at the top of the key. LeBron James is dominating ball possession. How is D'Lo going to be the point guard when you only give him about 4 plays in the game to bring the ball up because you got this dinosaur who wants the ball? And even if D'Lo bring the ball up, he just going to give it to LeBron, who's going to go right back to the top of the key and run the same boring, dull plays. When they listened to Darvin Ham, they had success. Darvin Ham had them running plays, and they would run it. They were swinging the ball in Denver, and it was working. Then as the game goes on, LeBron wants to go to his BS. 2-man basketball, high pick and roll with LeBron at the top, bringing the ball up. That's what Denver did. That's how they got back in the game. You slowed the game down to a crawl. Then it's 4-on-5 when they get on a fast break because you don't want to sit down. Let some of these young players run up and down the court for some of them sprints. You save it for down the stretch in the fourth. You could be able to be productive on not only offense, but defense. But no, you don't want to come out of the game. So you mean to tell me, LeBron / Laker fans, that Darvin Ham can sub out LeBron James when he feels like it? That what you telling me? If you believe that, slap yourself right now. Oh, yeah. All my Patreons, y'all will have an opportunity. Some of y'all will going to be first served, come serve. I'm going to give you these books. These are Christian books for your children, like kids' books written by Christians. My cousin did these. He did the illustration, the artwork. So actually, they have something educational to read. They learn some knowledge, and it's fun. If you want to go on Amazon and get them, it's called Help You, Help Me. This is what it looks like. So we got some. I'm going to give you some over there. Religious Nuts. So some of my Patreons are going to be receiving these. But if you want to get your own, you can go to Amazon and order yours. Donate one to LeBron. Darvin Ham is already a great coach. That's why I like people like Mike Malone, who's not going to sit there, and that's why he spoke up for Darvin Ham, because he wanted to make that known in the press and to the public that they're going to use him as a scapegoat in this situation. And I'm going to get to what the real fallout of this problem started to ensue. And this is just the way it was going. LeBron James, wanted to make changes to the lineup. So Taurean Prince is who Darvin Ham wanted in the lineup. LeBron don't want Taurean Prince in the lineup. He wants his buddy in there, who he became really good friends with, Rui Hachimura. So Rui Hachimura was being in the lineup, and when Rui was out and you had Taurean Prince in there playing in the starting position, the Lakers actually had some momentum. They were actually getting production from Prince. He was actually flowing better, but him and LeBron don't normally mesh well on a basketball court. And it was starting to see LeBron didn't want him out there when he was on the floor, only in certain situations. He don't have a problem with the guy. It's just that it's stagnant with the offense sometimes. But with Taurean Prince being out there, it opened up the doors a little bit from a scoring perspective. And he gives you length where you needed it because guys were too small. So now, here's the problem. LeBron wants to sub, and he wants Hachimura out there. And he tells Coach, bring Hach in. Yeah, bring Hach in. So LeBron dictates who he wants on the floor when he wants him on the floor with him. So right away, he say, look, this is who I want. This is who I trust on the floor. For a while, he didn't trust D'Lo. And a lot in the series, LeBron is a hot and cold individual. He loves you to death until one thing goes wrong or one play, he blames you, then he don't like you no more. He's like a spoiled child. So now he's hot and cold with D'Lo. Don't want to trust him with the ball. If D'Lo hit a big shot, then it's my boy D'Lo. It's like, you ain't speak to me at all day. Now I hit a shot. Now I'm your boy again. It's like, so, you got to deal with that with him. It's like dealing with a big spoiled child. But what LeBron do is he poisons the well. He's mad at Darvin Ham and don't want Darvin Ham to come back as coach. And he's like, we're losing. And he thinks this is all Darvin Ham's fault. Can't be his fault. So he's putting all this pressure on Darvin Ham, like he getting mad at him in the game. Don't want to, by showing him up, don't want to listen to the plays that's called and get up. And then he put pressure on Austin Reeves, a young kid who was not drafted in the NBA. You want him to have a bad relationship with the coach. So he see LeBron get up and walk off and not listen. He want Austin Reeves to do the same. Like, you can do it, Austin. Nothing going to happen to you either. So Darvin Ham is still coaching. They get up and walk away, and he going over the play. Yeah, then he gets Anthony Davis to go at it with Darvin Ham. Darvin Ham talked to AD in practice and then had AD just practicing his moves on the side. And this was during this series. And they had a talk, and he was like, that wasn't me why you didn't get the ball. I sent the play in to get you the ball. He decided not to get you the ball. It's all about the 40-year-old guy who's trying to win the game, shooting some deep threes and driving and running people over. Slowing the game down. Mm-hmm. It's a legitimate hate for LeBron. Absolutely. I've never felt any connection to LeBron James in anything. AD and Bron, he said Darvin Ham and AD never had that combo. Wow. They never had that conversation about him getting the ball. So he never had a conversation with Darvin Ham about getting the ball, and then he went to go work on his shot. Ooh, man, dude, don't do that to yourself. Should I do it to him or should I not do it to him? What should I do it to him or should I not? Because he's probably new here. Everybody hit the like button, subscribe to the page if you haven't. But should I do it to this guy? Oh, Duppy. Let me do it to Duppy. He said this never happened. After game 2, let's give it to him. Okay. Uh-oh. Who is that? Is that Darvin Ham and Anthony Davis? Is that Darvin Ham and Anthony Davis? Having a discussion about what actually took place. You see that, Duppy? You see that, Duppy? We ain't got a lot of you. Why we got a lot of a duppy? See that bum shooting free throws? We done went over this already. We don't have to lie to a duppy. And what did I say they were doing? They went back to what? Working on what? Post moves with AD, right? AD was over there working on the side, working on his post move. Easy work. Easy work, puppy. The dumpster. It's easy work. So now we know not to listen to Duppy. So now, as we were saying, the whole object of what he was brought there for, they made an excuse to try to say these are the reasons he was fired, because people was like, man, you got to make it make sense. They said, well, we understand the team wasn't healthy. They won 4 more games than they did last year. But Darvin Ham received much of the blame last year when they lost to the Nuggets. And then he's getting it again. And they said, well, it's his game management, right? He's got slow tactical adjustments. And he's willing to change player rotations and starting lineups. Are you out your damn mind? My thing is I want to see any LeBron Laker fans is in there right now. Salute to Jose Outlaw. They in the chat. I see y'all. Jag Sports Talk with Jose Rodriguez. Subscribe to his channel. And Outlaw is still holding it down in New York, rooting for Pop. Now, Giz is just waiting on the next Knicks game. So he waiting on Saturday. Knicks in Indiana. I'm betting heavy on Indiana. Knicks in 6. Now, here's the scope of what's going on. Like I told you, they said slow transition, slow tactical adjustments, player rotations. He's reluctant to change his starting lineups. And I say, if there's any LeBron and Laker fans on the side in this chat, here we go. I need to know. Take Minnesota in the points. Why did LeBron get fired? It's Carcino. It's LeBron's fault. The end. Basically. But I want any LeBron Laker fans out there, raise your hand. We want to see if y'all in the chat. How many of y'all out there? Any LeBron Laker fans in the chat over there? We need to know. Okay, we got one. There's a LeBron / Laker fan right there. We got one. They got one LeBron fan over there. Okay, LeBron fan. GBTC. Okay. Oh, this might be a LeBron fan right here. He says I'll be hating. There he is. We got two. All right. We got two of them in here. All right. Two ain't bad. Now, let's look at this. Now, y'all tell me what lineup was he supposed to go with? What was Darvin Ham's lineup supposed to be? What lineup was Darvin Ham supposed to do? Who was he supposed to insert into the game that he did not? Let's see. Let's hear it. Rui. Rui, the guy he didn't even want on the floor. Why? Because Rui played like crap for 10 straight games in a row. Here's the problem. LeBron wants Rudy out there. So what you gonna do? Your starting lineup is D'Angelo Russell, Anthony Davis, LeBron James, Austin Reeves, and Rui. So who do you want on the floor? Now, if I told you you got Anthony Davis, LeBron, D'Lo, Austin Reeves, and Ryu Hachimura, how does that help your team? Who's supposed to be in and who's supposed to be out? That's funny. He was like Christy Calverton, Hood Scafano, and Maxwell Lewis. That would have changed the game. So it should be Rui, AD, D'Lo, AR-15, and Dinwiddie. Where Brian gonna be? I'm like, where's Brian gonna be? The Lakers don't have defensive guards. They don't have any guards that could really consistently score or play defense. Dennis Schroeder could do both. They ruined that. That killed them at the point guard position right away. Now they're going to try to get Trae Young. Good. Now how's Trae going to help you defensively? But don't worry about it. I hope they get Trae Young. Game management. You can't manage a game with a 39-year-old trying to play 39 minutes a night. You don't play your age in minutes. You're 39. You're not supposed to be playing 39 minutes a night at 39. That's insane. But you want to do it because you feel that's how I got to do it. Nope. Now, slow tactical adjustments. What tacticals are you going to run with the dinosaur on the court? What tactics? I would love to see this tactical change. In the first 2 quarters, it's going to be there, but it ain't going to be there for the rest of the game because you got a dinosaur who don't believe he's a dinosaur. He think he can fly. He thinks he's a goddamn cheetah. He's a cheater, but not a cheater. He ain't gonna fly up and down no damn court like that. 4-5 sprints. They ain't invented the roid yet that you can stick in your ass that you gonna be like, oh, I can keep going all night. Nope. Your body gonna say, look, this is it. We look like $1 million. That's all this thing could do. But other than that, we pretty much just hit the wall here. Does Darvin Ham like LeBron James? Coaching him, no. He doesn't like coaching LeBron James. It's like coaching a spoiled child who wants things to be done his way. And there's a game where LeBron misses a shot and D Ham turn and smile and laugh and go back down the other way because he wanted to do something his way. So I already knew it was problems. We've been known it was problems because LeBron is entitled and wants his way, and that's that. Now, is D'Lo gonna get offered $18.7 million somewhere else? No, he's not. If somebody's stupid, then yeah, they would pay that much for D'Lo. But if not, he's gonna opt into his deal, and then there you go. Now, yep, they lost 4 games in a row, and when they lost to Minnesota, that's when the big blow-up happened because LeBron was spazzing out. They went 3-10 during that little holiday period, right? So after the in-season tournament, then everybody's now blaming Darvin Ham when they went 3-10 when criticizing him for his lineups, even though they just won an in-season tournament with that lineup, amongst other things that they went through, right? So what did he do? He benched D'Lo and Austin Reeves, right? And they had Cam Reddish and Taurean Prince playing in the lineup. Now, that happened. Do y'all remember that? Do you want to know why that happened? So y'all say this man don't make changes and adjustments. He benched Austin Reeves and D'Lo for Prince and Cam Reddish. This was what the fight was about in Minnesota when they went 4-1. Everybody was taking advantage of Austin Reeves being in the game and being a starter. LeBron saw AR missing all these shots. He wasn't really playing well. They all blamed D'Lo. Dumped it all on D'Lo for the bad games. So Cam Reddish came in to give them more defense. And he had Taurean Prince out there. Cam Reddish got hurt. Bron loved Cam when Cam was out there playing. Man, we got to get Cam out here because Cam covers up for a lot of his dumbass mistakes because Cam played defense. So Cam is now out, but Cam can't guard 2 different positions on pick and rolls. They're going to take advantage of him because LeBron ain't going to have your back. And if he's on the back line, he ain't going to step up and hedge anybody. He's not finna do that. He's going to be like, it's too early in the game for that. That's how his mind thinks. It's too early in the game for him to spend that kind of energy. But it makes you look bad because you getting beat and ain't got the help and support. So after that, they don't land a top 6 seed in the West. Even though they had that late surge, right? And they won 28, and it was like 28-14. Then the players got behind D Ham. But after game 2 in Denver, when they blew a 20-point lead, that's when everybody come down there and said, man, Anthony Davis, we got stretches. We don't know what we're doing on both ends of the floor. That's what led to the video you just saw where Anthony Davis was on the court and he was talking with Ham, talking with Phil Handy, talking to the assistant coaches. You a player, how the hell you don't know what you're doing going up and down the court? But that's the way this era is now. This generation, everybody passed the buck off on somebody else. The first season, they was 43-39 under D Ham, and then ended up going to the Western Conference Finals. And that ain't enough to keep your job one more year after holding an in-season tournament trophy. You gone. So the Lakers have to pay Darvin Ham 2 years that's left remaining on his contract with the Lakers. And they'll be hiring a 4th coach since LeBron James has been hired in 2018. We're going on coach 4 already on the Lakers. This man has been through 4 coaches since 2018. And this is the 8th coach the Lakers have had since Phil left. And when Phil Jackson leave? Didn't he leave in 2011? I think he left right after they didn't win that 3-peat. And he was gone. And right after that, as soon as that went down, they have been through 8 coaches since then. And 4 since LeBron been there. LeBron James got $51 million left on his deal. Rob Pelinka must make a decision now. Do you keep Rui Hachimura, who was terrible in the whole Denver series, and towards the end of the season, he was terrible? It's that time. It's that time of day and year. Yeah, he a coach killer. But when is it time to call out LeBron James? It's always been time to call him out. So anyway, without any further ado, I want to say thank y'all. Shouts out to Kwame Brown, Bus Life. Shouts out to D Ham, Saginaw, Michigan, Dreamers Pro, Ticket TV. I'm quite sure Ticket took his head off already. Shouts out to Jose for coming out, man. Shouts out to HD, Outlaw came out. Even Duppy, who came up here. Caleb Lee. Everybody who came up, man, and showed love. Hopefully, you guys subscribe to the page. DeMarcus is here. And I got to get ready to roll.